Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be installing frame sliders on the Honda CB650R. When you get your frame sliders, it will come marked with a left and a right so that you know which side they go on and you don't want to mix them up. I haven't opened up these packages yet to know exactly what's different between them because I didn't want to get them mixed up. But as we are installing them, we'll compare them. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with the left frame slider. I'm going to unwrap this and then we're going to take a look at it. So this is the frame slider for the left side. It comes with a very long bolt, as you can see here, and a washer. And it looks like it takes a hex head to screw that thing in. Now this right here will be installed in this position here on this engine mount bolt. So I will be removing this engine mount bolt and replacing that engine mount bolt with this bolt here. What I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to take a 17mm socket and I'm going to undo this engine bolt. Okay. Now what we need to do is we need to switch over to a hex bit because this is has a hex head. So I got this little attachment here which will slide directly into there, and then I will then connect it to my socket wrench and we shall line everything up. Perfect. Now you want to make sure that you don't cross thread this. You want it to go in nice and smooth. There should be zero resistance with the bolt as you're screwing this thing in. So make sure it's nice and torqued and everything comes out perfect. I have now installed one of the frame sliders and now we just repeat the process on the other side. Okay, so now I've unwrapped the second frame slider and these are identical in size, but the difference is the bolt length is much shorter on the right side than the left side. That's because on the left side there's a bracket here that holds the horn that's approximately about 1 1/4 inches wide. So that makes it so you have to have a longer bolt. So that's holding this horn here. So that being said, we'll go to the other side and we will bolt up this one. Now that we are on the opposite side, we are now going to unscrew this engine mount bolt. Again, this is with a 17mm. So here you can see the difference. This is the stock bolt. This is the bolt for the frame slider. So it's quite a big difference in size. And I'm going to start to do this up. Now again, you should have zero resistance. If you're having any resistance, that means you're cross-threading, which I might be, so I'm going to back it off. Okay. Now make sure it's nice and tight. Perfect. So my second frame slider is now on. let's talk a little bit about these frame sliders. So I got these online, and they are the OES brand. I'm going to put a link in the description below so that you can go and take a look for yourselves. Now, the reason why I got this brand is that they are actually one of the cheapest frame sliders that I was able to find. Most of the frame sliders I was looking at, they were ranging anywhere between $130 to $300. And I found that was quite expensive, especially for just a big chunk of like special plastic. So I found the OES brand, and these frame sliders came in at a price of $50, which is a very reasonable and affordable price. Now again, I will put the link in the description, so if you want to get these for your bike, get them, because you will drop your bike, and when you do, like I have on mine, you can watch the video on me dropping my bike. I'll put a little link for that one. But when you do drop your bike, you want to have some sort of protection. Otherwise, you may actually crack your crankcase. And if you crack your crankcase, it's a $300 repair just for the crankcase alone, the crankcase cover. And then on top of that, all the labor and whatnot to fix it. So if you've enjoyed this video on how to install these OES frame sliders, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you next video.